Whenever the Chinese Buddhists see anyone or do anything, they always say Amitabha when greeting someone, saying their farewells, making apologies, or expressing their gratitude, feeling guilty or rejoicing or whatever. We always say Amitabha. When something terrible happens or something that upsets, infuriates or trouble us happens, we always say Amitabha. Why is this expression used in so many situations? Let us ask Master Sheng Yen to explain.
This is our custom. Following the Tang dynasty, during the Five Dynasties period, there was a Chan master, Yongming Yanshou, who recited Amitabha Buddha name 100,000 times a day. He recited the Buddha's name all the time, eating and sleeping. Even when talking to people, he still mentally recited the Buddha name. He was doing it all the time. He also advised others to take up the practice. You have to keep reciting it day and night to meet the target of 100,000 times a day. Otherwise you won't be able to make it. So there was no time, he was not doing it. If people called his name and he was still mentally reciting, people would not know if he had heard them. So, for example, if someone called Mr. Yanshou, he'd say Amitabha. He was actually still mentally reciting Amitabha. He didn't just say it as a response. He was reciting silently, and then somebody called him. So in order to let them know that he heard them, he recited Amitabha once out loud. Then they understood, ah, he has heard me. And then if they said, Master Yanshou, I must say goodbye now, what would the master reply?
Amitabha.
It is very simple. Just saying Amitabha once means, I see, you are ready to leave. He does not need to say more. He's already made his reply. If someone said, Master, is it okay if I go home and make prostrations to the Buddha today? He would reply, Amitabha, as you please. He meant, since you've made a vow to make prostrations, just go ahead. If someone said, I'm going to stay up all night and just keep making prostrations, what do you think? He'd say Amitabha, which meant that you can feel free to stay up all night. If that's what you want to do, just go ahead. Master, can I make prostrations with you tonight? He might have to think about it first. If it was okay, he'd say Amitabha. If not, he'd say, Amitabha, that won't work out. Because he was still reciting and could stop in time. Another Amitabha came out. Amitabha, it's not convenient. A reply was still attached to the ongoing recitation. Actually, when he said it's not convenient, he continued to mentally recite Amitabha. So we're always saying Amitabha, no matter what the occasion, when you meet me with good morning or good evening. I reply Amitabha, I am going to do such and such. Amitabha, you'd better do this and that. Amitabha, he is so mean. Amitabha, when you scold or criticize people, I respond Amitabha. Which means devote yourself to reciting the Buddha name. Stop scolding or criticizing people. I'm going to kill somebody tonight. What do you think? Amitabha. Does the response accept the killing? No, it means since you've already heard me recite Amitabha, how can you still have the heart to kill? I am actually encouraging you to recite Amitabha too, so the word Amitabha can be used in many different situations. It's so useful. It can show agreement, or disagreement. It can be an answer or even a question. You can always use Amitabha to express something. Besides, reciting Amitabha brings you inner peace. And help others turn themselves around. If a person is already a Buddhist, a practitioner, after hearing you recite Amitabha, his heart will be filled with joy, and he will resolve to practice diligently. If he is not a Buddhist, nor a practitioner, after hearing you recite Amitabha, though he won't become Buddhist, he will be less hostile to you. I heard that when the late President Chiang Kai-shek was still around, Namo Amitabha stickers were being pasted on the roadside tree trunks and many other places. One of the members of his retinue was a Christian, and he knew that the president was too. So he said to the president, "We should forbid putting up these stickers. We ought to have them removed. They just look ugly slapped up all over the place. Everywhere you look, Amitabha, Amitabha." The message it sends is so passive and so lacking in spirit. They spoil the country's appearance. And what did the president say? He said Amitabha, and whether we believe in it or not. If an Amitabha is hung up there, people are less likely to do bad things. Seeing Amitabha in front of their face, they're less likely to commit murder or arson. Though we believe in God, the Amitabha stickers are useful.
Therefore,
sometimes Chinese Christians also say Amitabha. Why? Short and simple as it is, it speaks better than anything else.
Amitabha.
Amitabha is a very useful Buddhist expression, good for all occasions. Constant recitation brings us peace and joy, keeps us mindful of our conduct, and benefits others in the same way.